Twitter criticism. This is Thursday, or Tuesday, I mean. Tuesday. I'm running out of ideas. This is a regular day reading the news. Let's do the genocide this year. As time goes by, I'm going to do the truth is I just do this when I can, when I remember, when I have memory space on this camera. And well, let's go. Israel targets heads, chests of Gaza aid seekers in attack that killed 27. The situation is so severe. Everybody knows what's going on in Gaza. Even politicians like Lula, they are supporting the Palestinian cause. That says, the Al Jazeera says, aid seekers have come under fire for an 8-day near an aid distribution site backed by the US and Israel by Ali Harb, Niels Adler, June 3rd. Gaza's government media office, this is the summary. Gaza's government media office has accused Israel of, quote, a horrific internationally repeated crime, saying it has lured starving Palestinians to aid centers run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation and killed 102 of them in the past 8 days. Second, at least 27 Palestinians have been killed in the latest such attack in southern Gaza's Rafah governorate, according to the enclave's health ministry. The Israeli military says 3 of its soldiers have been killed in northern Gaza's Jabalia area in what appeared to be the deadliest attack on them since they ended a ceasefire with Hamas in March. Israel's war on Gaza has killed at least 54,510 Palestinians and wounded 124,901, according to the health ministry. An estimated 1,000. This is objective, but this is turned to be ironic because this is how the severe this denotes the genocide. 55,000 Palestinian killed, and only 1,000, and the number is the same. 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the Hamas-led attacks of October 7. So this number is always the same. And that's proofs according to Lula. Well, this is very, very obvious. And Lula is a very experienced politician. This shows that this is a genocide because you got it. Because there's no Palestinians are defeated anyway. Red Cross reports mass casualty influx, end quote, at field hospital in Gaza. Quote, today is the highest number of weapon-wounded patients received in a single incident since the establishment of the field hospital over a year ago, end quote. The International Committee of the Red Cross delegation in Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories has posted on X. It stated that 184 patients were brought to the hospital this morning, with all responsive patients stating that they had been attempting to reach an aid distribution site. And there's a Twitter here, ICRC in Israel and OT. This is a profile on Twitter, on X. It says, Gaza, early this morning, the 60-bed Red Cross field hospital in Rafah received a mass casualty influx of 184 patients. Today is the highest number of weapon-wounded patients received in a single incident since the establishment of the field hospital over a year ago. Gaza, the same. 15 minutes ago, there's just photographs. Palestinians queue for drinking water in Gaza amid severe shortages. The first photograph is that Palestinians receive clean drinking water amid shortages in Gaza City. In the second, the same thing. Always queue for water. They looks fine. They looks better than Chilean junkies. 25 minutes ago. New GHF chief lauded Trump's plan for removing Palestinians from Gaza. We reported earlier that the US-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation has appointed evangelical leader Johnny Moore as its new chief. There have been concerns that GHF could be used as a vehicle for displacing Palestinians inside Gaza and push them to leave the territory. In February, Moore praised Trump's plan to remove all Palestinians from Gaza and turn the enclave into the quote-unquote Riviera of the Middle East. Quote, President Trump always sees war through the eyes of its human cost, and he thinks creatively, never bound by conventional wisdom. He stops wars and makes peace, end quote. Moore wrote in a social media post. Quote, the USA will take full responsibility for future of Gaza, giving everyone hope and future, end quote. And 35 minutes ago, global think tank to Europe, quote unquote, words are not enough. In a statement titled, Europe on Gaza, words are not enough, the International Crisis Group urges European leaders to back their stated concerns over the humanitarian crisis in Gaza with actions. In recent weeks, several European countries have employed stern language to rebuke Israel's blockade that has brought hundreds of thousands of people in Gaza to the verge of starvation. But most European countries enjoy warm ties with Israel and continue to export weapons to the country. The EU is Israel's top trade partner. Definitely, this business Israel makes good business. Maybe even with China. No, China, I saw on social media, China deliver aid from a helicopter to Palestinians. Who knows? This is the same game, the same world, the same system. This is capitalism. Quote, for European Union members and the UK to have any hope of contributing to change in Israel's policy, they need to throw more in their economic and diplomatic weight into signaling to Israel that the Gaza campaign must end, end quote. The International Crisis Group said, quote, a starting point will be to ban arms sales to Israel or at least forbid the use of weapons from Europe in Gaza. Commit to upholding the International Criminal Court's arrest warrants for top Israeli officials, including Netanyahu himself, if they travel to Europe, curb preferential trade benefits, and sanctions those senior officials and ministers pushing a illegal settlement policy, while threatening further steps in the assault does not stop, end quote. And 1 hour ago, finally, US aid is not US aid, but there's an aid group from the US. Stop the merchandising. US aid group for Gaza appoints pro-Israel evangelical leader as new chief. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF, has announced Johnny Moore, a U.S. evangelical leader, staunchly supportive for Israel, as its new executive chairman. Moore has been talking up the foundation's work in Gaza and denying Israeli attacks, which have killed dozens of Palestinians near the aid distribution sites. U.S. agencies and the overwhelming majority of the humanitarian community have rejected diverting aid from the existing mechanism to allow GHF to exclusively distribute assistance in Gaza. Critics say the foundation risks the militarization and privatization of the aid and could be used to displace Palestinians in Gaza. More succeeds the former head of GHF, Jake Wood, who quit the group, saying that it is not possible to implement private aid distribution plan, quote unquote, while also strictly adhering to the humanitarian principles of humanity, neutrality, impartiality, and independence. And that's it. That was the genocide dossier. The genocide is alive. The genocide is doing great.